Hey everybody, it's Tiffani, Beth, your favorite wicked wild child. Thank you for joining me tonight, Wednesday, May 28th? Yeah, it's 28th. I don't know. You're going by so fast. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. It is awesome here in upstate New York. I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. We have another awesome show for you today. We have awesome country singer Alyssa Morrissey. She is going to tell us all about her duet with Matt Williams. She's going to tell us all about her upcoming singles and albums and how she got done in the music business. It's going to be so fantastic. And we're also going to tell you where you can find all of this so you're not left in the dark. Who wants to be left in the dark? Nobody. But before we get to awesome, talented Miss Morrissey, just a couple of announcements here. First, I want to thank our sponsor for bringing this episode to you, the Caring Coaching Center. If you want to get a little healthy, which we all do, or a lot healthy, go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com. Look over what Karen Kennedy has in store for you. She is CEO and president and caring coach of the Caring Coaching Center. And let me tell you, she is amazing. The Caring Coaching Center is a program to fit you. That's right. It's programmed to fit you and your needs, not you adjusting to a program. So it's not White Richards or Jenny Craig or any of that BS. As a matter of fact, she wants you to email her. She wants to give you a free 50-minute health history consultation, and it's free. And if you choose to do the program with her, that's going to tell her what you want to do. So it's going to tell her how to meet your target goals and your target needs. You want to get a little healthier and, in mind and body, she'll help you do that. You want to lose weight, she'll help you lose weight. It's completely up to you, and it's completely confidential. So go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com and email Karen for your free 50-minute health history consultation today. That's www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com. Also, this episode is also brought to you by Rolling Hills Asylum. If you love the paranormal, if you love history, you're going to want to go to this. It's www.therollingHillsAsylum.com. And it's so much fun. It's actually in the middle of nowhere and yet close to everything. Does that make sense? It's 10 minutes from two major airports, and yet you have to know where to find it. You have to know where you're going to find it. My new tongue tied. Sorry. But it's amazing. Sharon Clare is the psychiatrist of the Rolling Hills Asylum, and it's really beautiful. It's so historic. So if you're into the paranormal, you can go there for that. Or if you're into history, go for the historical tour. You're not going to want to miss it. They have a lot of the old beds, a lot of the old, quote, therapeutic machinery they used back then, which, depending on your version of therapeutic, no. They have some of the old dolls. My whole thing is there's no such thing as too much exposure. So, and we love, I'm a singer, so we're all about music, and I love to read, so we're all about authors. And we would love to feature you either on an author's corner, so you would do your published works, or if you're a musician, on our Music Mayhem page. Go to www.dtmwickedradio.com. Just pull those pages over, see what we have to offer, and then email me at dtmwicked@yahoo.com for more information. That's dtmwicked@yahoo.com. So without further ado, I want to bring out our amazing guest. I've listened to some of her songs on YouTube, and she's extraordinarily talented. Let's bring on Miss Alyssa Morrissey. Hello.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Are you enjoying your week?
I am. It's been a nice week. We've had some nice weather where I am right now, so it's been good.
Well, nice weather is awesome, especially after the winter we all had.
Yes, I agree. It's definitely nice to see some sunshine.
Absolutely, and it's nice to go outside in a T-shirt and not freeze to death in 34 to 50 below freezing.
Absolutely.
I was waiting to see polar bears walk across my lawn. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
I know, it was ridiculous.
I know. Well, we got some of your Arctic air. I have a couple of friends in Canada. I'm like, you can have this air back. It's all yours.
You don't want it.
Yeah, they're like, well, we're Canadian. We like to share. I'm like, you really should refix that whole thing. Oh, my goodness. So you are extraordinarily talented country singer.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. When did you realize you had a talent for singing and that country music was a good way to go?
It's honestly, I really don't remember not singing. It's kind of been a part of my life, ever since I could remember. So I think I always sort of knew that I wanted to be involved with singing and performing. There's videos of me singing when I was like 4 years old on boxes and stuff in my living room. So I think it was just something that was always a passion of mine. But I grew up listening to all types of music. My family always had music playing throughout the house day in, day out. So I listened to Shania Twain, Faith Hill, the Dixie Chicks, and classic rock, and a lot of different stuff. But definitely Shania Twain was one of my idols. So I think it was with her where I really started to fall in love with country music. But it wasn't until about when I was 15 when I first started working with my producer that I really got heavily involved in the country.
How did you get involved with a producer?
I actually did a singing competition from my hometown, and he was in the audience watching another contestant that he was working with at the time. And I don't know, I guess he liked what he saw and approached me afterwards, and we started working together and took me down to Nashville that year, and it all started from then.
Oh, what a wonderful journey.
I know, it's been crazy.
That's so exciting. Now, you've actually cut quite a few singles already.
Yeah, I've got 2 albums now. The first one that I did 6 years ago, and then I just did my most recent project, Way to Go, last year.
Yeah.
And I had a single from the first album that charted, which was really exciting for me as a 15-year-old at the time, so that was pretty fun. And now we've got the new single coming out now.
That's awesome. Now, do you write your own music, or do you go through a catalog?
I started off with going through a catalog. Cyril, my producer, he was the one that wrote and co-wrote all of those songs. But for the second project, Way to Go, I started doing some co-writing with him. And those songs we didn't put on the album, but it was kind of just more of experimenting and trying to sort of capture my own as a songwriter. And then it hasn't been since the last several months that I've really been getting into the writing, and have been doing lots of writing, actually. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it.
What inspires your writing?
It's always been, I don't know, personal experiences, I guess. When I was growing up, I always tried songwriting, but I was never super confident with it. But I would write, my own things, my own feelings, my own, situations that were going on in my life, and it was kind of a good release. But nowadays, it's more, when you're writing with other people, it's fun to just create a story. It doesn't even have to be something that I've experienced or that I'm feeling, just, a fun story. And that's sort of been the inspiration recently, but definitely, in the past, and always, I think, still to come, just personal experiences and things that, I want to sing about, and I think that, fans want to hear.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Stories can be fun, stories can be inspirational, and stories can be, heartwarming and feed different emotions. So I think that's also a very fun process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, excuse me, you also collaborated on a duet with Matt Williams.
I did, yes.
Take me through that journey.
Well, Matt and I have kind of been working together for the last couple of years now, and it's been just within the last several months where we've decided to do some writing together and sort of collaborate in that sense. So this is the first song that we co-wrote together, and so we've been performing together live. That's our own together. But it's been so much fun. He kind of approached me with this idea a few months ago, saying, we should write this together. So we started working on it, and then we were able to bring in Doug and Adam, who just completely changed the song and put it on a whole nother level, which was amazing. And all of us working together just really came up with this great song that we're super proud of, and we're really happy with the result it's been getting.
That's really awesome. It is a very beautiful song.
Thank you.
I looked it up on YouTube. I only could find snippets of certain things. Really disappointing. Stupid YouTube. I demand more.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be collaborating more with him?
I think so. I mean, we've already been doing some more writing, and we've got some shows that we're coming up that we'll be doing. So I think, yeah, definitely in the future you can expect some more stuff from both him and I.
That's awesome. Now, have you done a tour yet?
Not a full tour. We've been doing, little pit stops here and there, just different places and throughout Canada. But we're hoping to, in the fall, start to get a tour going. But we're going to start with heading down to Nashville next week to do the CMA Fest. We've got a few shows down there, so we'll be touring down there.
There's a lot of you going down. Julie Jones, Amy Rose, Marshall Dane.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited.
Now, I have to ask, since you all kind of come from the same place, will you all be jumping on one big tour bus and just kind of making a road trip out of it?
No, I don't think this time we're not. This time there's a few coming down with both Matt and I, so I think we're all going to be sort of taking a van down and packing it in that way. But, no, that would be really fun, though, all of us heading down together.
Now, that would be a reality show I would watch.
Oh, gosh. That would definitely be something exciting.
Well, if you think about it, think of all the songs and music that could be created on the way down. Each of you could come out with a whole new album, maybe 10, depending on...
That's true. That's very true.
But depending on if you don't get distracted.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wish we could be in Nashville. How much fun would that be? Like, to see every single one of you guys tour, because I've interviewed all of them, and amazing. You guys are all amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, they all are very good.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody is so talented and so gracious. And I would love to see each. I'm hoping maybe it'll be televised, because sometimes they do. So I'm hoping maybe they'll show little bits here and there, so and hopefully catch you guys. That would be phenomenal.
That would be awesome.
That would be. Excuse me. So what other things do you have going on that you'd like the listeners to know about?
I've got, I'm in the studio right now. We're doing some more writing and hopefully coming out with some new things, with maybe even a little bit of a different sound and a different spin on them. So that's something that people can definitely look forward to. And I've got a couple big announcements coming up that I'll be putting up on social media. So everybody stays tuned for that. I'm hoping to make these announcements within the next couple weeks or so. So those are going to be fun and exciting, and I can't wait for everybody to hear those.
Oh, well, I can't wait. That'll be awesome. Too bad you couldn't sing here tonight. How awesome would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh darn. So out of all of the songs on your albums, what are a couple of your favorites that really speak to you?
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess probably one that means a lot to me would be the song from my newest EP, Way to Go, called Not Afraid to Die. That song it's a very inspirational message, and I'm a big believer in faith and trying to be fearless and believing in yourself and believing in, just the path and the journey that you're on. So that song speaks a lot about that. And I just think it can relate to everybody, and it definitely relates to me. So it's probably one of my favorite ones, and ones that, really touches me. And then another one on that album that I really love would be Hanging My Tears Out to Dry. It's another really good one, and it's a very funky melody, and it's a little bit different, so that's what I sort of love about that, and I love the words behind it as well.
I think I really do think words are so important. It's interesting, being a fan of music, you listen to songs on the radio, and it is the first thing to catch your ear is the melody and everything else and how that flows, and that initially will give the idea if you ever like this song or not. But for me, the melody is a catch, but then I have to listen to the words.
Absolutely. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I definitely am somebody, I heard a saying one time, and it's kind of stuck with me since, is that, I like to listen or even sometimes perform the songs that can better describe how I'm feeling better than I can. So I think that's what I really tend to look for in songs and in lyrics, is if I can relate to that. And yeah, it's always really special when you can.
Oh, 100%. You know, the melody can be great, but there's some fun songs, but even then fun songs can be like, oh, they take you back to a memory.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Every music is a memory. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think when the words really grab you, that's when you really love a song.
Absolutely, I agree.
And it's so important. And I've said it once before, and I'll keep saying it again. The lead singer of Incubus really disappointed me when he said, well, sometimes when I write a song, it doesn't mean anything. And what's weird to me about that is that sometimes he'll write a song and the words are extraordinarily meaningful. Mm-hmm. But when you realize to the writer the words mean nothing, I think it takes away such validity and emotion from the song.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. It is. I mean, I guess depending for certain songwriters where they write things every day and hundreds and hundreds of songs, I guess it would be a little bit difficult sometimes when they're having to put a meaning to everything, but I definitely know where you're coming from. It can be a little disappointing if something means so much to you and then you realize that it didn't mean anything to the person who created it.
100%. Absolutely. Now, when you look through the catalog for songs, how do you choose what songs you want to sing? Now, I also ask this because I know sometimes the songs can be already pre-recorded, so you can hear what they sound like. Mm-hmm. Do you go through that process as well? And if so, how do you choose what songs you want to perform and put on your album and put your name behind?
For me, it has to jump out at me. I mean, we listened through hundreds of songs when we were preparing for both these albums, and it was just, like we said, it's a combination of the melody and of the words. For me, songs that I want to put on my album are, again, things that I find that I can really relate to, or that I, can put a lot of emotion and feeling behind it because it's something that, sort of touches me and reaches out to me. So if I'm listening to something, again, that's sort of explaining a situation in my life or something that I've got going on, it's definitely, that's what I look for. And melody as well, if it can capture me in that sense and it's catchy and interesting, then I'm definitely happy with it.
Excellent. I really like that answer. It's awesome. It's very awesome.
You.
Now, I'm going to divert from the music just a tad. Other than singing, what else do you do? Like, what are you doing in your spare time? What do you do during the day?
I don't know, I mean, music it's a pretty big part of my life. I've got, when you're going in there to the studios or writing and gigging, it can take a lot of your time, but I like to hang out with my friends, and I've got a really good group of friends that's always supporting me, so it's always really nice when we get together and catch up and, just have fun that way. And I tend to be a shopaholic, so that's something that I tend to do a lot in my spare time as well, which maybe isn't the best thing, but, you can always find me doing something like that.
Well, her name is Alyssa Morrissey, and she's addicted to shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. I think all of us are addicted to some kind of retail therapy. Sometimes it's shoes, sometimes it's clothes, sometimes it's candles and Bath and Body Works. We all have our own vice.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And then some people are like, I just like to spend money, and that would be my vice.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have that problem too. It's a combination of both.
Yeah. The thing is, you get a little money in your pocket, you're like, I saw a pair of jeans at Bloomingdale's, and I really need those.
Yes. Exactly.
If you're like me, you find a reason for retail therapy. It's kind of like an eating thing, like you eat when you're emotional, you shop when you're emotional. You're like, I'm happy. Let me go buy something. I'm sad. I need therapy.
Yes, exactly. We have to justify it in some way.
You do? You do.
To feel better.
You do, because then you're like, oh, man, I spent money I shouldn't have. But you're like, but I totally deserve it. I didn't eat that chocolate bar earlier. I deserve this pair of jeans because I'm still going to fit into them.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, excuse me. Who? Now you did list, Shania Twain and such as some of the people you listen to, but who truly inspired you?
I think it's a combination of a lot of people. For sure, she would be one of my top ones, just because, I grew up listening to her, and I loved everything about her music and her creativity and just how original she was. But somebody that I've really sort of tuned into the last few years since I've, been really involved in music and performing would be Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland. She just has such an amazing stage presence and something that I look for in an artist and that I like to do myself is that how they perform on stage, and if you can believe what they're singing and feel exactly what they're singing and what they're saying to you. And I find that she does that perfectly, and she just has an amazing voice, and she just can put so much emotion behind everything she does. So she's definitely an inspiration for me and somebody I look up to, and I kind of take a lot of ideas from.
No, and I have to agree. I've actually seen her live myself, and she is a powerhouse on stage.
Amazing, yes.
And I mean that in all sense of the word. And for those of people who have not seen Sugarland, you really should go.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually saw Sugarland right after the incident in, was it Iowa, where the stage collapsed?
Oh, gosh, oh, yeah.
It was like a week later that she actually came to New York for the state fair. And my dad has, Jennifer, if you're listening, my dad Wesley has a total crush on you. He loves you. If you ever get attacked by a big giant man, it's because he loves you, and I apologize ahead of time. He's obsessed with her. His wife, who technically is my stepmother, was very jealous of Jennifer Nettles, and the whole time of the concert, she was just like, I think she was having a good time, but then she's still like, yeah, Jennifer Nettles, why do you have to be so pretty?
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
But a bunch of people had made signs that said, "We will go on." And so when they sang Little Miss, they held them all up. And
wow.
She began to sob on stage. And
wow.
It was such a heart filler. Thank you so much I'm going to cry. Thank you so much for thinking of other people while we're here. Because it was in the same setting. It was at a state fair. And
wow.
So it really must have hit close to home. Because actually there was a storm rolling in at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow, that's amazing.
Holy crap. But she stopped, but she just, even through the tears, she really, just her voice, so impactful. And you can definitely tell, like you said, you can tell she believes what she's singing, every word. And not only that, as from a music standpoint, her performance is flawless.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Her voice sounds exactly the same as it does on the recordings.
It does, and it's interesting. I guess before you, we had talked previously about how when you have a favorite musician or band, for me that's Voodoo. They're one of my most inspirational bands that I've always loved, and I've seen them a bunch of times live. And it pains me to say this, but I've actually seen performances that they've done live that were absolutely horrible.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't put any energy into it. They didn't have any rapport with the audience. And even in their own music, it was really off. And I was so disappointed. I'm like, because you have such high expectations, especially for the people who've inspired you. There's definitely two things you want from people who've inspired you. If you meet them, one, you don't want them to be a jerk because it'll break your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And two, you really want them to give you their all.
Yeah,
and they
for sure.
And I was so disappointed. I mean, and maybe that was 3 performances out of 10 that I've seen. But I tell you, Jennifer Nettles is just every single time, bam,
spot on. Yep,
spot on, and it's amazing. It truly, truly is amazing.
She is. Yeah, so she's definitely up there for my top inspirations.
Well, from what I saw on YouTube with you, again, there were snippets and some, I tried to find your music videos. I could find some of your live performances. And I have to tell you, Alyssa, you are spot on.
Thank you.
Your voice carries so very well. Not an off note. Your energy is very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's intoxicating.
Oh, thank you so much.
You excite your audience, and I think that says so much for a performer when you can feed the energy, or the audience can feed off of your energy, and it's so positive, it makes everybody happy. Get the music.
Thank you. That's so nice. That's definitely something that I definitely strive for, and that I hope that my audience is getting that and feeling that.
Oh, I definitely think that, because you start listening, and again, like I said, it wasn't the best. I think somebody had taped it on their cell phone, maybe. But it came out very well vocally, and your energy really was very apparent, and people were really happy, and I think that says so much, and I really hope that, I said this to everybody, and it's true, I hope you come through New York State. We would love to see you live.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, let's hope we make it there.
Well, I've talked to your publicist or your manager enough to know that he should bring all of his people to New York State. As a matter of fact, I'd probably annoy him with it.
Oh, no.
Or Michael, he's probably like, oh my God, people, yes, I get it, shut up. No.
So we'd love to come out.
Well, I hope so. We have a lot of great places. We've got Syracuse, we've got Binghamton. There's the Syracuse Fair is one place where you guys would be very welcome. And that's in summer. So, and that's a huge, huge event. I mean, in the grandstand, you've got, this year, I think, Jason Aldean and I think Keith Urban. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, wow.
There's some big people coming through. And how much fun would that be?
That would be so much fun. I'd love to do that.
That would be so awesome. And the nice thing about it is there's a free court where people can come and they don't have to pay tickets because it's in the middle of the fair. And then you have the grandstand, but oftentimes the people in the court get invited to play with the people in the grandstand.
Oh, wow.
So talk about great exposure.
Yes, exactly.
I'm always thinking, how can you take it one step further?
One step further. So that's good. That's a good way to think.
You definitely tried.
Mm-hmm.
What are your goals for your music? Where would you like to see your world go?
I think I definitely I want to be able to touch as many people with my music as I can, and help people in a way with music that music's always helped me. So for me, that's a big goal, and to obviously reach out to as many as I can and build that fan base. But one goal that I have right now for sure is I definitely want to be touring, and I want to experience that lifestyle and live playing every night kind of thing, and back to back. So I think that's something that's hopefully more of the near future goal, but definitely in the grand scheme of things is just touch as many people as I can with my music.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, when you talk to people about touring, have they ever told you what it's like, and does it ever make you nervous?
It doesn't make me nervous. It's just I've watched lots of documentaries on some of my favorite artists and their touring and sort of behind the scenes, and a few other people that I know personally, and it just sounds like it's a lot of work, and it's very tiring, but it just sounds like so much fun, and I think I'm just so excited to be able to experience that.
That would be exciting. What's a couple places that you would like to travel to?
I think definitely it would be awesome to be able to go to Europe and do some touring there. I think, that says a lot for itself. It would be beautiful, and it'd be an amazing experience to be able to get over there and sort of experience that world and that type of music scene there. So that's something on the bucket list.
If you could tour with anybody, who would it be?
I think one of my top favorites would be Keith Urban. I'd love to tour with him.
I think it would be a lot of fun. I think a lot of pranks would be pulled.
Yes, I see that all the time, and I just think that's the funniest thing ever. And he is one of my favorite musicians as well, and I love watching him perform. So if I was able to play with him every night and then be able to watch his show, I think I'd be quite happy.
When she says play with him, people, she means to play guitar, sing.
Yes.
Things like that.
That's what I mean.
I know my audience. It's scary where their minds go. Excuse me. That was. I bet. Have you been watching American Idol with him?
I've watched bits and pieces of it, but my mom, she's in love with him, and so she's watching it, every night, and she's a big fan.
What did you? Okay, so I have to ask. Since you're, a professional musician, what did you think of the talent from what you saw on American Idol?
I think there was a lot of talent on there this year. There was a few that really stuck out. I noticed. I can't remember their names, but yeah, I think they were pretty good this year. I mean, it's crazy that they can come up with this show every year, and they can grab all these people that are so talented, and it's been doing this for quite a while now. So it's crazy to see all the talent that's out there and how young they are.
Mm-hmm. They are. They're getting younger, progressively younger.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that.
It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to make them think, why don't you finish high school first?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's cool, and it would be, how cool would that be to be in your high school years and up on stage like that? That'd be incredible.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's say you do go on tour. Would you prefer arenas, or would you prefer stadiums where you travel a little less because you have a larger number of people at one time?
I think ultimately it really doesn't make a huge difference whether it's arenas or stadiums. Either way, that playing in front of a huge crowd like that would would be amazing, and it would be a dream come true. So I honestly, I'd be blessed if I could do just one of those, let alone both someday.
That would be very, very awesome. That would be very, very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excuse me, looking through some stuff, and it seems like you and Matt Williams have a very good relationship in that you've worked together a lot more than just on your one single. Mm-hmm. What other things have you and Matt collaborated on?
We just do lots of we perform together a lot. He helps me out when I need to do some gigs, and I do the same for him. So we're both just sort of helping each other out, and we really have fun playing together. And we get lots of compliments on our voices together, and how people love to watch us perform together. So that's sort of what we've been doing and what we're doing right now. We do a lot of acoustic shows, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we are now, like I said, getting a lot more into songwriting and that side of things.
That's awesome. Now it seems like you both have worked with some amazing people that have worked with some of the top-notch people in the music business, such as Reba McEntire and such. You've worked with songwriter Cyril Rawson.
Yes, yeah, he's my producer that discovered me.
That's so awesome. Well, what was it like when you were approached by him? Did you take him seriously, or were you like, yeah, right?
At first it was, we were flustered after the competition, and, running in and talking to lots of different people, and he came up, and he's very reserved, and, he doesn't like to toot his own horn, so he came up just saying, he's a songwriter and would love to, write some songs with me or work with me, and at the time we just kind of brushed it off, but we were like, yeah, sure, that sounds good, and afterwards his wife ended up coming up to us and saying, he doesn't like to brag, but we lived in Nashville for years, and he does have lots of connections, and he's written with a lot of people, so just go home and Google him and then give us a call. So we went home, and sure enough, we Googled him and saw that he's worked with Reba and Keith Urban and Gretchen Wilson, so we're like, oh yeah, okay, I think I definitely should call this guy up and get working with him. So yeah, it was kind of funny.
That's so awesome. That must have been an extremely surreal moment for you.
Yeah, it was a very great moment, and I owe a lot to him for sort of taking me under his wing and doing all that he has for me.
That is so amazing. Now, is he the one that kind of paired you up with Matt Williams?
No, actually, I I met Matt through his other band, Western Avenue. I started doing a couple shows with them, and they were backing me up for some things a few years ago, and that's how we met. And yeah, we started going off and doing our own thing acoustically, and that's sort of how we built that that comfortableness with each other, and started writing.
That's amazing. We'll have to have him on the show sometime.
Absolutely, you should.
That would be so much fun. It seems like you've accomplished so much in such a short period of time.
Well, I mean, it's definitely been a long time coming, but it's starting to feel like we've got that ball rolling right now, and so things are really starting to happen and fast, and so it's great, and I'm just excited for what's coming next.
I wish you could tell us. I'm like, well, what's going to happen next?
They're just concert announcements, so they'll be, but they're fun ones, and they're pretty big ones to me, so I'm quite excited about that.
That's so awesome. Now I am curious, how long was the process of meeting Cyril, getting you started in the studio to getting your album released? How long was that?
I think it probably took us about 8 months altogether. We started working together, I think it was around Christmas time back then, and we didn't actually head down to Nashville till August. So it was quite a few months in there, but we were working together 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week. And I do remember, it's been a while now, but I do remember right before we headed down to Nashville, I was over there pretty much every day, just going through all the songs that we've done and that we chose to bring down there and record, and just really working on them and making sure that they are exactly where we wanted them to be. So it is a long process, and it took a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and once you're finished with it and you hear the end result, it's very rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. Are you a perfectionist in the studio?
I am. I never realized. This was my first, this new single here. It was my first single release where I haven't worked with Cyril, and my first time in the studio working with a different producer. So it was, I never realized how much of him actually rubbed off on me, and how much I really did learn from him in the studio in terms of perfectionist and, what I expected myself. So it was very cool to see that, and yeah, like I said, I owe him so much, and you just never realize when you've spent so much time with somebody what you pick up on.
Oh, 100%. So what's it like to hear yourself on the radio for the first time?
The first time, like I said, I was 15, so it was very cool for me, and I actually think I was homesick that day that they played it in my hometown for the first time, so I was able to be home, and I think it made me feel a little bit better lying on the couch there and hearing it come on the radio. So that was it was very cool, and yeah, I mean, you never really get used to it. I don't think it's definitely a very cool experience.
That is very neat. I imagine you don't get used to it. I'm sure it's one of those things that's like, oh my God, that's me, that's my God.
For sure.
That's so awesome. That is amazing. So what else would you like the listeners to know about you and your music and such like that? Just to stay tuned and keep up with the things that we've got going on, and just thanks so much for all the support that they've been giving, and I think we've got some good things on the way, and I'm really excited for everyone to kind of be along this journey with me. Wow, that is so cool. You've accomplished so much, so amazing. Now, can people buy your album in the United States?
Yes, you can purchase both my albums off of my website, which is alyssamorrissey.com, and iTunes as well. So it's available there for everyone.
How fun. And I'm going to extend this invitation to you as I do everybody else that we've worked with for Michael. We have a Music Mayhem page, as I'm sure you heard me talk about earlier. We would love to feature you on there, put your banner out, put links to iTunes and everything else where, your fans can come in and And also you can gain new fans. So look at the website and go to the Music Mayhem page. They'll see your banner and click on it, and you can create new fans.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Well, you're so very, very welcome. Absolutely. We'll be honored to feature you on Music Mayhem.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. So when do you have plans for another album anytime soon?
I don't necessarily think another album just yet, but definitely recording some new stuff and maybe just releasing songs kind of one at a time to iTunes and into all of my my websites and whatnot, and kind of just go from there.
Well, that'd be cool. You'll have to, on the Music Mayhem page, people will also get updates for whenever you're releasing a new album. We'll update it and everything like that. So your fans will be kept up to date.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So it's our honor and our pleasure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So
thank you.
Everybody's got a funny recording story. Do you have a funny recording story?
I don't know if I really have a funny one. No, not that I can really think of right now.
Or maybe a funny moment within your music career, something that happened unexpectedly that kind of threw you off, or something just really funny that you encountered with another musician?
I think really I'm sure there's been lots of moments, not really many coming to mind, but I remember there was one gig that I did last summer. We were playing a festival, and we had one of the later shows, and it was on this big stage with lots of lights on it, and it attracted a lot of bugs. And I just remember, because I'm not a huge fan of bugs, and I remember being up there trying to stay cool with all these things flying around my face and flying into me while I'm trying to sing. And I remember my biggest fear was that I didn't want a bug to fly into my mouth while I was singing. If I was doing a big note or something, for it to fly right in. So I remember keeping the microphone super, super close to my mouth so that it didn't really have any room to come in. And I think that was kind of it was a funny show, because we all kept looking around at each other and laughing and trying to keep our cool. Meanwhile, we were kind of all freaking out a little bit, because it was pretty crazy. There was a lot of them. Yeah, bugs were not awesome. No. Performing. I love those outdoor summertime gigs, but it's definitely, that's sort of the downfall to them, is the bugs come with it. Oh, absolutely. Especially at night. Then you get the mosquitoes, exactly. Flies, and all of a sudden, and you're under those lights, and that's what they're attracted to. Well, yeah, and all the warm energy as well, because you're jumping up around there, and all the hot air we've got coming off of us all, so they definitely are attracted to you. That's 100%. I won't forget, a couple of years ago, I went to a fundraiser for animal advocacy, and there was a bunch of bands playing, local bands, of course. And at night, you have all the lamps and the lights and everything. And I don't know what it was, but there was a lot of bugs out that night. But they weren't so much bugging the audience, but if you look up on stage, you got a lot distracted. You're like, I don't know if I should pay attention to the band or the 1 billion swirling bugs underneath the lights. But it was that bad. Like, I felt bad for the band. Because, you had to be there to see. It was like a wall of bugs underneath the lights because they were so attracted to them. Oh, wow. And, the bugs, they definitely put a damper on things. They do, and they're uncomfortable, and I hear you. I know. They're yucky. Yeah, there's no way you could slap yourself gracefully to get a bug off. Oh, no, definitely not. Even though people would probably understand there's just no graceful way to smack yourself and still look eloquent and, rocking on stage. Yes, I know. Trying to keep your cool. Yeah, it doesn't always work that way. So we only have a few minutes left. Sure. Gosh, it went by so fast. Can you tell again where our listeners can find you? Sure. So you can check out my website, which is alyssamorrissey.com. And follow me on Twitter, which is at Alyssa Morrissey. And then you can find me on Facebook as well, which is Alyssa Morrissey Music. That is so awesome. Now, in Nashville, do you know where you'll be playing? We've got a couple, a few actually, that are coming up down there. And some of them keep adding on. So I'm not I can't remember. I think we're playing at the Silver Saloon on the Friday afternoon, and I can't really remember the name of the other two that we're playing. But we're going to be all over the place down there, and definitely a part of the main events there at the Fan Fest, walking around the streets there and going around. So if you're down there, check us out. I'm sure you'll run into us.
Now, will Mr. Matt Williams be accompanying you down there? Will fans be able to hear your duets with him?
Yes, he's coming down for sure. So we'll be playing the song together live, and as well as some of our own stuff and some fun covers as well.
Oh, can you give us a hint of a couple of covers you'll be playing?
I think we're going to be playing a couple Lady Antebellum songs, we love to play them, and Penny Chesney, we've got a couple there. We're not 100% sure on our set list yet, but we have to nail it down here within the next couple of days.
Do you ever, because we talked about Jennifer Knowles, do you ever sing any Sugarman songs?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are just about out of time. I want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. You guys are awesome. Do not forget to check out AlyssaMorrissey.com. You can find her music on iTunes, and soon you'll be able to find her on btmgoodradio.com on our Music Mayhem page. And if you're in Nashville, go to the ACM Music Festival, because you can see Miss Alyssa Morrissey, Amy Rose, Jiggly Jones, Jane Marshall, Doug Briney. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Josie Milner, Matt Williams, and Josie Milner. I mean, there's going to be a whole slew of talent on there that you're not going to want to miss. So if you're in Nashville, take a step and grab a beer and go watch some music, some very talented people. And I want to thank you so much for coming on The Wicked Edge, Alyssa. You are amazing, and you're so talented, and I hope you make it up to New York sometime soon, and I'm sad I'm going to miss you guys in Nashville.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We really do appreciate the support that you're giving us and that everyone's been giving us, so we really appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me out, and we'll for sure come check you guys out when we're in New York.
Absolutely. Well, you have an open door on The Wicked Edge anytime. Thank you so much for sharing your talent, and thank you so much for everything, and good luck with everything. I can't wait to hear all the exciting announcements you've got.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, everybody, this is Tiffani, Beth, your favorite Wicked Wild Child, and thank you guys for joining us tonight, and thank you to Alyssa Morrissey and Matt Williams for sharing everything, and everybody have a great night and keep rocking out. Bye-bye.